Hello everybody, how are you today? We are going to study Natural Science Year 2, Unit 2, and we are going to talk about plants, okay? Well, we are going to talk about different aspects of plants. Let's go into the unit. The first thing we've been talking about is cultivated plants and wild plants. Remember that plants are living things, okay? Living things are born, they grow, they reproduce, and they die. It's super important that you remember that plants are living things. And here we have wild plants. Wild plants are not planted by us. Do we plant them? Do we put the seed? Do we put the seed, water them, and wait for them to grow? No. Those are cultivated plants. Cultivated plants can be in crops, or they can be in orchards or gardens, and we plant them. We put the seed in the soil, and we water them, and we wait until they grow. So, if we have to look at the characteristics of wild and cultivated plants, we would say that we grow plants in gardens and pots. These are cultivated plants, and those ones. Wild plants grow in nature. Wild plants grow in nature, these ones. And farmers grow crops. Remember that crops, son cultivos, grow crops in big fields with tractors and different machinery. So those would be cultivated plants. Let's see, which of these plants is wild, which is cultivated? Look and write. Wild, W, or C, cultivated. Let's go. Is this wild or cultivated? This is wild. The plants that grow at the sides or the banks of the river banks, they are wild. Look at this, all in lines, so uniform. This is because it's cultivated. And then the plants that we grow in our houses are cultivated. And these ones, if you go to the countryside, you find those plants because they are wild, okay? Let's listen to the information that we have in the box. Remember that this box is the important information that you have to remember.
Wild and cultivated plants. Wild plants grow in nature. People cultivate plants for food or decoration. Farmers grow plants in fields, and other people grow plants in pots and gardens.
Okay, these are pots. In this unit, we have studied something that you didn't know in Spanish, okay? We have studied árboles o plantas de hoja perenne y plantas de hoja caduca. Okay, how do we express that in English? When we have a plant that has the leaves for the full year, so the plant, the tree, is always green, so in Spanish would be de hoja perenne, it's called evergreen, which means always green. And here we will have these ones. These trees here are evergreen trees because they are always green in spring, summer, autumn, and winter. When we have trees that turn yellow, orange, red, and brown in autumn and lose their leaves in winter, we call them deciduous. Árboles de hoja caduca in Spanish. Deciduous, the leaves fall. Evergreen, the leaves never fall. Okay? So these are evergreen, deciduous. Evergreen, deciduous. The different trees that we have here. Take the photos with evergreen trees. So we only have to take the evergreen and we have to see. If you look at the photos we have, these trees are evergreen because they are pine trees. Palm trees are also evergreen, okay? So take the photos with evergreen. What about this type of pine? It's also evergreen. And here, it's orange, so that means that is deciduous. Do we take it? No, because it's deciduous. This is evergreen, it's another winter tree. And look at these trees. Do they have leaves? No. These trees, they don't have leaves, and you can see it's winter and it's snowy. So do we take it? No, because these trees are deciduous. Listen to the theory.
Deciduous and evergreen trees. Deciduous trees lose their leaves in autumn and grow new ones every spring. Evergreen trees keep their leaves all year round.
Okay, so I think it's super clear. Deciduous trees lose their leaves in autumn, and evergreen trees keep their leaves, so they don't lose their leaves. The following two parts are the most difficult, okay? So you have to pay attention and listen very carefully. Remember that we said that plants are living things, so they reproduce. How do they reproduce? There are two types of reproduction, and we will study that in years 5 and 6. But if you look at these plants, you will see that there are two types of reproductions here. You have seed reproduction and non-seed reproduction. Okay, if we talk about seed reproduction, let's do it in color pink. For example, seed reproduction, we have all the plants with fruits and flowers. For example, this tree would be seed reproduction. This tree, the cones, are part of the seed reproduction because they have the seeds inside. And then we have another type of reproduction, which is non-seed reproduction. How do they reproduce? They reproduce through spores. Spores. What are spores? Spores are like invisible particles that fly in the air and make the plant reproduce. I'm going to use color red for spores. Okay, so we have non-seed would be plants with spores. And we have mosses. Mosses. What's mosses in Spanish? Musgo. Mosses. Then we have ferns. Ferns, which are helechos. Ferns. And we also said another one in the classroom, which are mushrooms. Mushrooms. Mushrooms that we could put here. Lots of different mushrooms. They also have spores. Okay? Mushrooms have spores. So ferns, mosses, and mushrooms reproduce with spores. Fruits and flowers indicate that the plant reproduces with seeds. Let's do this text, which is super important, and let's see if you remember. Seed plants can have flowers and fruit. Like an apple tree. An apple tree will have flowers and then will grow fruits. Other seed plants, like pine trees, have cones. Non-seed plants, like ferns, where are they here? Los helechos, ferns, and mosses, reproduce with spores. Remember, spores. And these are some spores that you can see because they are painted, but they are usually invisible. Okay, so spores is another way of reproduction that is not seed reproduction. Seed reproduction, spore reproduction. Seed reproduction, fruits and flowers. Non-seed reproduction through spores, and we have ferns, mosses, and fungi or mushrooms. We call them mushrooms. Let's go to the other part of the unit, which is a little bit difficult, which is the plant cycle. The plant cycle. Okay, this would be the first part. Well, really is a cycle, so you can begin anywhere. Another plant produces fruit. In this case, we are going to talk about apples. And the fruits contain the seeds. So inside the fruit, there's a seed. This will be number one. Number two, the seed leaves the fruit. So if this is the soil, the seeds are going to fall into the soil. The seeds leave the fruit, or the seeds fall into the ground. Number three, a seed grows into a sprout. A sprout is when you have the seed and the seed has a little root. Okay, that would be a sprout. A sprout. Sprout. Then the sprout grows into a little plant that is called seedling. This little plant that is going to have the seed and little roots, and then a little plant here. This is called the seedling. Seedling. And then the seedling grows into another plant with flowers. So before having the fruit, the plant is going to have the flowers. And then the flowers turn into fruit, the fruits fall onto the ground, and the seeds go into the ground, and then you get a seedling, a sprout, then the sprout turns into a seedling, and then the seedling into a big plant. And that's the cycle again and again and again. And that's the plant cycle. Very important. Okay, let's go to another part of the unit which is a little bit easier. Much more easier, I would say. The listening is very, very interesting. Why? Because it gives us all the information, it gives us 4 reasons why plants are important. Why are plants important? The first one is because they give oxygen, okay? Plants give oxygen, and that's super important. Another important thing about plants is that they give fibers for making clothes. For example, this is made of wool, which comes from an animal, but my trousers are made of cotton, and cotton is a plant. Other plants that we use for clothes are linen, for example, cotton and linen. Then plants give us food. With wheat, with these cereals, we make pasta, we make bread, and plants also provide beautiful decoration in the house. Just listen.
Quiet, please. It's time for the next group to give their presentation about plants.
Why are plants important? Plants are important because they clean the air and make oxygen.
They make oxygen.
And we use plants like cotton to make clothes like t-shirts and jeans. Yes, and plants are important for food. Farmers plant crops like vegetables and grains. And don't forget, plants are also pretty. We use them to decorate our garden, houses, and cities. So, because plants are important for many things, we need to take care of them.
Well done, children.
So here you have 4 reasons why plants are important. They give us oxygen, they make fibers for making clothes, they give us food, and we use them for decoration. And that's a lot. Okay, let's go to the last part of the unit that won't be in the exam, but I'm going to put it in the video. Okay, in this part of the unit, we are going to see how do plants adapt to different environments. A plant that is in a desert has to adapt to the desert. A plant which is in the rainforest has to adapt to the rainforest. And a plant which is in the ocean has to adapt to live in salt water. Let's see different adaptations of plants. Listen to the chant.
I am a cactus. Here it's dry and hot.
A cactus.
I've got a thick stem and branches
Thick stem.
to save water a lot.
Thick stem to save
I
water.
am a pine tree.
A pine
I've got
tree.
needles instead of leaves.
Needle.
They make food in the winter and all year keep me green.
And all year green because it's an evergreen.
I am a Venus flytrap. I like insects as a snack. I wait carefully for them to come, and then I go snap.
Okay, so the cactus lives in the desert and has a thick stem to absorb water and keep the water inside. It also has spines to protect itself from animals, from predators. Then we have the pine tree, and these little leaves, they make food in winter, summer, autumn, and spring. Okay? And then we have this plant that is going to trap insects. And what is it going to do? It's going to open the leaves, and when the insect is nearby, it traps the insect. Okay? Okay, let's see different parts of the plant that help the plant adapt. If we look at this part of the plant, what is this plant doing? Is it attracting pollinators? Is it looking for sunlight? Is it growing to find water and nutrients, or is it protecting from predators? Okay, the roots grow to find water and nutrients. So we will color that blue, okay? But we will do this in the classroom. This is just for you to know. This plant is going to grow the roots to attract water, to absorb water and nutrients. Okay, so the roots are going to grow. Let's go with this one. What's a flower for? Flowers are for attract pollinators. The colorful flowers attract pollinators. So if the flower is white, it's not going to attract anybody. So the flowers are usually yellow, orange. We are going to put it yellow because it's the color code that we have, but they could be many colors, okay? So the flowers attract pollinators. What is this plant doing? The leaves are turning towards the sun. So if we have the sunlight here, the leaves are turning to the left, and we would have, they are looking for sunlight. So we would color this red because this plant is turning right or left, left to the east or west, west, to look for sunlight. And then look at this one, it's going to protect from predators. Look at the mouse, poor mouse, he got a spine on his butt. Okay, look, this is color green, and we are going to color this green because the cacti are going to protect from predators. And well, this is all we have studied in this unit. This is Natural Science, Unit 2, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Bye-bye.